Now we are back. We are calm and fine, I think.
Sometimes I'm mystery, sometimes I'm free, depending on my mood, on my attitude. Sometimes I wanna roll or stay at home, walking contradiction.
Yeah, when you were talking, I just kept thinking, okay, now did I even have depression? Or I was just being a spoiled brat. and it got me thinking of how sometimes we also downplay our problems because you don't feel like maybe they are big enough, or you watching someone else and you're like, hey, so and so has bigger problems, or so and so is going through more, so I should just be an adult about this and take things as they come. And sometimes you don't realize that somehow that still messes up with you, because then you're suppressing your emotions, suppressing whatever you're going through, and the day it comes to blow up, it probably will be, the magnitude will be 10 times more than it could have been at the beginning if you just spoke about it or dealt with it how you wanted to initially. And for me, my labor wasn't too bad, but I remember, and I think I wrote this when I was wishing Okwe happy birthday, his 7th birthday, of how the umbilical cord was around his neck. And I remember when he was born, he was purple, blue. He didn't cry. And all I could say was, my baby, because I was just like, bas, he's gone. Like, after all that, we only 9 months of pregnancy, or rather 10 months of pregnancy, and then the baby is dead. And, and it was about a minute or so before now he let out the first sound, and they're like, yeah, he's okay. So, yes, I did tear. They did sew it properly. But then a week and a half, it tore again.
Okay. I hope you weren't dancing.
Good one. Good one. No. I was not dancing. Now I had constipation. TMI. I mean, that's something else that comes with after giving birth. And you told, eat these fruits, nini. I did all that. Drew purpose, drew oranges, drew what. I ate everything that I thought would take away the constipation. So now, that came, and then I had to go back and be restitched. And it was so painful.
Yes, it is.
Now, there's something you said behind the scenes about how someone will go through something similar and it won't take a toll on them, but then there's someone else who won't go through anything, but it will be like, oh my God. Now, for me, I think at that time when all this was happening, I kept feeling like I was having an out-of-body experience. It didn't take a toll on me as I thought it would. So I didn't have a reaction of, oh my God, this baby has taken me through this. All I kept thinking was, oh my God, if I did not get pregnant in the first place, I would not have to be stitched, I would not have to be restitched and go through this pain. And there are people who go through so much more, and they end up completely letting go of their child. And some end up killing their babies.
True.
Some end up abandoning their children with either the father of the baby or their parents. I mean, you hear so many stories of so and so, aliacha mtoi kwa wazazi, or my baby mama left, because there are stories of my baby mama actually left. And you think like, okay, it's only the guy who gets up and leaves, until you realize there are actually women out there who they can't take it anymore, and they're like, you know what, I cannot do this. And I am so sorry you had to go through what you went through.
No, it is what it is.
Yeah, it is, and it's painful. And one thing I would like to tell you is that, you having said that, take the baby away, or the phrase you actually said, don't beat yourself up about it, because, and I know it will constantly be there in your mind. But I mean, 8 years down the line, and you love him to death.
No, let me tell you one thing. What happens is,
every
time I think about it, you know, there's that thing you think about, and it takes you back to the raw emotion. That you feel like you're in that state at that time. But I was in so much pain. It's not an excuse, but I was in so much pain, and I was like, you know what? I'm not handling this. You know, and I kept thinking to myself, is this what women go through every single day? Like, you find that you've been healthy all your pregnancy, because I was healthy, except for a few times when I passed out because of my pressure. But other than that, I was healthy. I knew I was eating right, everything was okay. But in a few minutes, everything flipped, you know. And it's human of us to attach every problem to something, you know.
Like, that's true.
We just can't accept that things have happened the way they have, you know. We want to attach it to something.
There has to be a reason.
Yes, there has to be a reason. And at that point, the one thing that was making me so happy was also the one thing that was tearing me down, you know. And it's crazy, because we've seen all the movies we watch. Kids are supposed, like, when you meet your child, it's all so glorious.
It's amazing.
And I'll tell you the truth. And as I keep on saying it, when I look back in retrospect, I notice that there are things I used to say, there are things I used to do that now tell me I had postpartum depression. One, when we were leaving the delivery room, I remember the midwife telling me, please, just look at the baby. And I was like, no, I'm not. Because this baby is not crying, this baby is not moving, this baby is not having any movement of sorts. I'm sure this baby is dead, and I don't want to have that image in my head. So I was like, no, I'm not going to touch him, I'm not going to hold him, I'm not going to look at him. And that night, August 12th, 2011, I did not look at my baby. I went straight to my bed, called my mom up and cried, and I told her, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to feel. And she was like, I'll be there first thing in the morning. And I remember that night I'd chased my mom away, because I was like, please stop telling me to breathe.
I know.
Please stop telling me to do things. And I was like, leave. But looking back, I wish I had someone with me, because it would have eased all the emotions I was going through. And also, I remember going home, I really tried to show off, like, I'm strong, I gave birth to this baby, and now I'm walking, I'm moving, and everything is back to normal.
Snap back.
Yeah. And I was really trying to be the best I could. Like, you'd come see me, and anyone who came to see me, 5 minutes later, I was seeing them off. And I'm like, and my mom is like,
You
been
don't
trying.
have to,
Like, just sit here, recover. And those are the small things that when I look back, I'm like, chick, you were trying too hard. You know, you were trying too hard. You were trying to tell yourself everything is okay. And we have to learn how to sit still when things are not okay. We have to take in the moments and tell ourselves things will be better, you know.
So can the emotions.
Yes, like just sit there, accept, yes, this happened. And I remember I used to look at this baby and go like, wow. Because the first day, I actually told my mom, you see, when people say, oh, I met him and I was in love, I was love struck the first time, I didn't feel that feeling, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't have it. I looked at this baby and I was like, okay. Day 2, I was like,
still, when that
and
emotion
Jabali was a cute baby. Every mom.
yeah, says that baby's cute.
But I was like, and then the 3rd day came and he started moving and I noticed he started suckling and I was like, oh, maybe
we can do this.
Maybe we can. Like maybe I can start feeling like some emotions towards him. And I kept on asking myself, am I really that inhuman? And if you've known me for a very long time, I'm a very emotional person. I get attached to everything and anything. Cats, dogs, fish, whatever it is, you know. People.
Yeah.
I'm very attached. So for me not to get attached to the one thing that I really own was a mess. And I kept on asking myself, is there something wrong with me? Is this how all mothers feel? And I'm very truthful in my words because I keep telling people I did not feel the connection from the first day. And it's not wrong because you've probably been through a lot, you know. So for you to get to a point where you're like, oh, this is my baby, I love them, it takes people different time lengths. So,
now that you've said that, you know, there are people who have that connection from the word go.
Yep.
But do you actually know that connection can break at some point?
Yes.
So for me, I think it was the opposite. Like for me, I was like, oh my God, my baby. To date, I still call him my baby. And even though he'll say I'm not a baby.
Yeah, that's that part. Yeah.
But that still is there for me. And it will, I think even when he's in his 20s, even when he's getting married, I'll be like my baby. Because he'll always be.
Yes.
But I feel like for me, the postpartum came later. Like, and I don't even think it came the 1st or 2nd year. I can say for me it came maybe after he turned, maybe when he was getting into school going age. When I look back, for me, I think that there are very many points in my life that I have out of body experiences where I will just do things because they need to be done and I'm doing them because, okay, you're a mom, this is what is supposed to be done. So I will do them and it's autopilot for me. Like I will do them out of it needs to be done and this is what a mom does, this is what a child should be given, this is what, and I will complete it fully. But then later I will come back and I will realize that I have a space, like there's a part that is blocked out of my life that I actually don't remember. And it's not, it will be bits and pieces. Some will be like, you remember this and this? And I'll be like, huh? And I realize over the years I've come to learn that is how I deal with trauma.
Oh. Now, I'm totally different.
Yeah.
And it's not only when it comes to trauma. I think it's everything relating to me. I remember things word to word. Especially if it's hurt me in a certain way or I feel like it's had an impact on my life, I'll remember it. Like totally, I'll be in that emotion, I'll tell you how I felt at that point, word to word. If we recorded it and put it somewhere and then we have to talk about it and play it, I will...
Like, this is what
yeah,
I'm saying.
this is what I'm saying, you know.
Yeah.
So it's I think everyone is different, and that's the reason I was saying our threshold of emotions and pain and how we handle things is totally different for everyone. For everyone. So you can't blame someone who feels like, and I noticed this with labor. if you've ever been to a big hospital and everyone is in one room and they're experiencing labor, you'll notice there's a silent one. And then there's a screamer.
Yeah, and then there's one who's stripping and running.
Yeah. These different
Yeah.
types of people. Because I remember very clearly when I was getting Jabali, there's a lady who was next to me and she was really screaming out her lungs. And I was like, oh my God, this chick must be feeling something
pain.
else. No, like I was feeling some pain, but I was telling myself, if I scream, I won't have any energy.
Energy to push, yes.
So the doctor comes in and he goes like, Madam, is this your first child? And she goes like, no. It's my third. And I'm like, hold up, what?
I knew you crying like that.
Your third child? And the doctor goes like, this chick is having her first child and she's not making any sound.
Just decorum.
So that in
Yeah.
itself taught me a very important lesson. We all take pain very differently. We all take things totally differently. So, and we're all allowed to feel and do and act as we
Please, yeah. No, so like even when I was saying how I was having an out of body experience, for me, I think when I look back, I'm like, I didn't feel the things that were supposed to be depressing or like that whole, oh, I want to go out and I'm with my baby. For me, I think it hit later when he was much older and I was like, oh my God, I need to go out. But now, who's going to take care? And he's at that age where he's sleeping through the night, nini, but it will still stick in my mind. And even if I go out, I'll be like, what? Is he okay? And even when I've left him with my mom, who I know he's definitely fine with my mom, or with a nanny I really trust, I'll still be at the back of my mind. I'll be like, hey, okay. And then also there's that I'm missing out. Am I missing out because now I've stayed home with my child? And so for me that came later, and it made me realize that postpartum is not necessarily the first year or the first few months. You can be okay.
Yeah.
And then just
hits you.
Suddenly it hits you. And for me, I think I was like, I finished uni. I'm looking for work. I'm not getting any work. Or and then now I have to join KSL. KSL is a whole other hurdle on its own. And then there's a part of me that still wants to live the life as a 20-year-old. And then you still have to be a mom. And so I think after I finished KSL, and because I worked from 2014 to 2016. And then when that job came to an end, I think for me, that is when my postpartum hit. Because I kept thinking, I need to provide. That's the same year that baby daddy and I split. And so it was just a sense of, okay, I have no one, and I have to provide. As much as, yes, my family is there, my parents are continually supportive, my siblings, and they will give, even when you don't ask, they will just see, they're like, hey, we need to, yeah. And there'll be those kinds of like, oh, we'll pay school fees, don't worry about it. But at the back of your mind, you're thinking, I have to be responsible. I brought this child into this world, not to be taken care of by somebody else, but to be taken care of by me. And so there's always that pressure of thinking, oh my God, so now 3 years down the line, I still haven't gotten back to working in a law-related job, because you get rejection letters, and I think now for me, that's when it came down to, oh my God, I'm feeling pressure from, and actually the pressure wasn't coming from outside, it was from within, because I'm just thinking, oh my God. And that's when I started feeling like, okay, am I good enough? Am I good enough for this boy? Am I a good mom? Or am I doing something wrong? Is it worth everything I'm doing? Is it worth anything for this child? Am I worth it? And for me, that's when I think that the depression actually, like the postpartum depression actually hit. And that is 4 years after. So I sometimes question, I'm like, right now, that's 3 years from 2016, am I still going through it? So sometimes I will sit and I have to reevaluate, even if it's a day or a week, and be like, okay, have I done things that show that I'm going through something? Am I having a bad day? Because there are days I will want to come home and just sit in my room and not talk to anyone. And for me, that's my point of just getting some peace of mind. And sometimes I ask, does that mean I'm a bad mom because I don't want anyone? And he'll come to my room and ask me, are you okay? I'm like, it makes it worse because now he can comprehend and he can ask questions.
They feel it.
And he's like, are you unwell? And I'm like, sometimes I have to lie and be like, yeah, because I just want my space. I've always been that kind of person who I'm an ambivert, so I will have my extroverted moments where I'm like all out and people person, but I still love the fact that I can have my solitude and I enjoy it, where I will just sit and be in my space. And then here is a 7-year-old who wants you to go play football outside, and you're just thinking, God, not today. So it's different and it hits different because there are people who will soak in the emotion. I'm an emotional person, yes, but there are times when I think when I'm overwhelmed, I will just sit and just be there like a zombie. Then there are times when I will cry.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, okay, why are you crying? What's wrong?
Yeah.
And you can't explain because it's not an emotion you can speak out.
Yes.
And like, okay, I'm having a bad day, but it's not making sense. And I hope one day we can figure out how to deal with depression generally.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, I totally get what you're saying because I'm also an ambivert. But the older I grow, I think I'm moving towards the introverted side than the extroverted. Because on a weekend, I'd rather sleep in.
Yes.
Like, I'd rather sleep.
Yeah.
You won't catch me at whatever club that is. I can't even tell you what new club is in
Kicking
town.
right now, exactly.
And I feel like being a mother has pushed me to that. Because there are times I just want that stillness. Like the whole day will be shambles, especially now. We have a long holiday.
2 months. Yeah.
So the little time I have to myself just to think everything through, I'd rather take that than go out to a club any day, you know. So I totally get what you're saying about some days you're up there and you're feeling like you own this world, and then the next day you're crying your heart out because you're wondering, how will I get things done for this baby? Because they grow up so fast. 1 minute they're 2, the next they're 8, the next they're 15, and you're like, hold up, I'm still
trying to figure out how to deal with the 8-year-old you.
Exactly, like, can I just, you know,
I
and
wasn't ready for you to be a teenager.
and that's the reason I'm saying, don't rush parenthood. It's not all rosy. It's not it's not as easy as
it looks.
everyone makes it look. You know, we'll post photos, but
We'll laugh, we'll have fun, and we'll go out and do things with our children, but then you'll come home, they'll fall sick, and you're thinking, what? Okay, I need to take them to the hospital. You have another sleepless night, and there's so much. There's the good and the bad, and of course with social media, you don't post. It's very rare. It's just these days you see people saying, oh, my baby is sick, or post a video and be like, even with a flu, he's still, you know, things like that. But you still don't get the complete gist of this is how this person did not sleep the whole night, or they spent the night in Pussy, things like that. And it takes a toll on you. And for me, I wouldn't say that at now you don't post at the good things because you're going through something. Please post.
Yeah.
If it makes you happy,
We need
post.
that positivity.
Yeah. But learn to feel the emotions. Learn to know what is good for you at the time. So, and especially as a mom. And if you want to head into that direction as a mother, you could be married, you could be dating, or you could be in that space where you're like, I want a kid. I don't want a husband. I don't want a man, but I want a baby. Please be ready. Just know that it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be all joy and laughter. It will reach a point where you're thinking, I want to pull my hairs off. I cannot. Like, why is he not sleeping? Or why is she not sleeping? Why is she crying? And that
I've given them everything they need.
Change the diaper. Breastfed. I've done what? Everything. Nothing. But she's screaming. And you're thinking, okay, what is wrong? So just pace yourself. Like Agnata is saying, it's not something that you should rush. You should know what you want. You should be in the right state of mind before you get, because it's such a huge decision. You're going to take care of a whole other human. If you can't take care of yourself, don't do it. Don't do it. Because then, like you said in the beginning, you're going to raise broken people. Because you're trying to fix yourself. And this person is watching you fix yourself, and maybe you're not even getting it right, and end up hurting the baby, hurting your husband or your boyfriend or your significant other. So take your time before you make such a huge decision to become a mother or a father, just to be a parent.
Yeah.
It will do the world a whole lot of good if you take your time.
True.
Yeah.